According to the Global Firepower Report, which is a military ranking website that tries to compare the strength of the world's armies using its own formula, in 2025, the United States has about 13,043 aircraft. Meanwhile, for Russia, this number is reported to be around 4,292 aircraft for its entire air fleet. Of course, this number doesn't just include fighter jets and bombers, but also transport planes, training aircraft, support planes, and so on. Sometimes helicopters might be included too. But among all these flying giants, how many are there that really make a difference? Who truly rules the skies? This is where the sky turns into a battlefield. Stay with me until the end of the video as we dive into an aerial battle, putting 5 of America's deadliest fighter jets up against 5 of Russia's most powerful fighters. Let's get started. All right, first, let's check out America's top 5 fighter jets. Number 5 on our list, the F-16 Fighting Falcon. This is one of the best-selling and most widely used fighter jets in history. Thousands of them have been built, and they're still flying in the skies of many countries. But why is it so beloved by experts? Because it combines speed, maneuverability, and upgradability. That means you can pull off smart, precise maneuvers with it. Its systems have always been updated, so it can keep up with newer fighter jets. In short, the F-16 is one of the classic old-timers in the fighter jet world, and at the same time, it's affordable and flexible. It can upgrade itself whenever needed. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's better to use a lighter and more agile fighter like the F-16, which can fly faster, maneuver better, and use less fuel? Or is it more suitable to use a heavier and slower fighter, like some bombers or older generations, that can carry more weapons? Write your opinion in the comments, but stay with me so you can guess my opinion as I introduce these planes. All right, let's get to a multi-purpose beast that I'm going to introduce. The Super Hornet. This jet takes off and lands from the deck of a giant carrier, not from a calm, smooth airport runway. But an aircraft carrier is a very short, moving runway that keeps rocking in the middle of the sea. So every time the pilot takes off or lands, they're basically taking a big risk. That's why fighter jets like the Super Hornet are specially built for this job, because these jets have wheels and their suspension systems are stronger. So when they land on the moving deck, they can handle the weight and impact better and don't get damaged. On top of that, these planes have a tailhawk. This metal hook at the back of the plane, its job is to catch the cables on the carrier deck during landing, so the plane stops immediately. Plus, the Super Hornet's wings are foldable, so it fits better on the deck. It also has systems that let it easily take off using the carrier's catapults. In short, the Super Hornet carries heavy loads, stays in the sky for a long time, and whenever needed, it launches like a spring. Now it's time to talk about the Americans' 5th generation, the F-35. This jet has entered the scene with stealth technology, ultra-advanced sensors, and the ability to gather information from every corner of the world. In a way, it's like a super advanced spy. Just imagine, when the enemy thinks the area is safe, there's an F-35 up there. With its digital eyes, it's watching everything and can fire at any moment. One of its key features is that the F-35 mainly carries its weapons inside internal bays to maintain its stealth. This way, enemy radar is less likely to detect it. But when it comes to air superiority, hardly anyone doesn't think of the F-22. It just pops into their mind. This is the first 5th generation fighter that the Americans put into service, meaning that even though there were different designs before it, the F-22 was the first jet to actually enter service with the full set of 5th generation features. You might ask, what are its capabilities? Exceptional stealth, high speed, and excellent maneuverability. Plus, it's designed in such a way that it secures airspace before the enemy even realizes a war has started. In a way, this fighter is like the king in chess, because the enemy can't see its moves and suddenly finds itself checkmated. But our list isn't finished yet. Get ready because we're about to enter the realm of bombers. We're reaching the climax of the story. Let me introduce it. America's stealth bomber, the B-2 Spirit, the night ghost of the sky. It looks like a wide, silent wing. They actually call it a flying wing. Its body has no tail or protrusions for radar to detect. Plus, its body is made from radar-absorbing materials, and it can carry heavy weapons with a very long range. An interesting point is that unlike old bombers where bombs were attached under the wings or body, the B-2 carries most of its weapons inside internal bays, so radar still can't detect it. On top of that, this bomber has a lot of fuel tanks and even has the capability for aerial refueling. So it can take off from really far away, refuel several times in the air, and keep going. It can hit targets that are thousands of kilometers away. Now, the question is, with this setup, do you think the advantage goes to America? Well, keep watching to see who really rules the skies. Now it's Russia's turn, so let's get started. Let's start with one of the pillars of the Russian Air Force, the Sukhoi Su-27. This is one of the fourth-generation fighter jets that a lot of countries use. It's like an experienced old pro that's been through a lot of tests and challenges. Its appearance also has a unique vibe. The body has a blue-gray tint that helps it blend into the sky. Its engines are installed with some distance between them, so if one gets damaged, the other one can still work, and the pilot can keep control and either return to base or make a safer emergency landing. By the way, its top speed is about 2,500 kilometers per hour. I mean, it's really fast. In short, the Su-27 is like a seasoned fighter who's been on the battlefield for years. Of course, now they're bringing in newer models, but the Su-27's value and experience are still remembered by everyone. Now let's get to the MiG-31, a Russian supersonic interceptor that's truly ambitious. Its power is such that it's like the guardian of the sky. When others can't climb any higher, it's still going up. Its speed is terrifying, and it's ready to destroy any threat in the sky. In fact, in a way, the MiG-31 is like a cautious phantom that's always possibly overhead. Now, moving on from the MiG-31, we get to the MiG-35. This one is Russia's Generation 4++. It's an advanced multi-role fighter with a powerful radar and the ability to carry a ton of munitions. Actually, the MiG-35 is like an all-purpose hunter, meaning it can remain airborne for extended periods, play an important role on the ground, and manage several different targets at the same time. You might ask, how is that possible? Well, the MiG-35 can both engage enemy aircraft and control the skies. Now we get to one of Russia's most ready jets, the Su-35S Flanker. This jet has a radar called the Irbis-E, which can detect targets at very long distances, up to 400 kilometers. This means that even when the enemy thinks everything is safe, the Su-35S is seeing it all. And that's not all. It can simultaneously track multiple targets and guide its missiles. The Su-35S can pull off any maneuver or turn in the sky. In fact, the combination of its powerful engines and the design of its wings and body makes this fighter jet able to react quickly in any air battle. Climb, dive, turn, and even dodge when the enemy gets close. This jet can carry all kinds of air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles, as well as guided bombs. So it means it's great for air combat, and it can also carry out ground attacks. Its speed is up to about 2,500 kilometers per hour. In short, the Su-35S is like a panther lying in wait, always ready to pounce on its prey, and it's also keeping an eye on the other hunters, especially the Americans, so it can react at the right moment and ruin their plans. And now, the Russian champion, Russia's fifth-generation fighter jet, featuring stealth, high speed, heavy payload capacity, and cutting-edge technology. Let me introduce it, the Sukhoi 57. This fighter has arrived to show that Russia, it also has something to say in the skies. Its systems are fully digitally controlled, and with its long-range radar, it can simultaneously detect and manage multiple targets. The most amazing thing is that this fighter, with the ability to carry 10 tons of munitions, can load all kinds of air-to-air, air-to-ground missiles, and guided bombs. This means that on a Su-57 mission, the advanced fighter jet can effectively take out both enemy fighter aircraft in the sky as well as various ground targets on the battlefield, making it highly versatile and capable. Let me also mention that each of these fighters has its own strengths in a specific area. Speed, stealth, range, maneuverability, each has its strengths, but the world is more complex than just these, and there's even a theory that says not all 5th generation jets are equal. For example, the Su-57 might be called 5th generation, but its infrastructure can't compare to the American F-22 and F-35. Some experts say even though jets like the Su-35 have advanced technology, overall they're still behind the West, because when two fighter jets face off against each other, it's not just the technical specs that matter. Tactics, logistics, pilot training, and ground support are all important too. They play a truly key role in achieving superiority. In my opinion, the Americans, with aircraft like the F-22 and F-35, overall have the edge in both technology and numbers. But that doesn't mean the Russians are behind, because the Su-57 or Su-35S have shown that they can really be a serious threat. But of course, it's also a valid point that there's never absolute superiority. What's your opinion? Which fighter jet or which country do you think could come out on top? Leave a comment so we can discuss it together. In short, when it comes to the skies, power isn't just about numbers and stats. Stealth, speed, maneuverability, radar systems, munitions, pilot training. It's all of these factors together that determine the outcome, and it's the same in this case. Whoever has the superior fighter jet is the one who has all the aspects at once, not just one of them. But both the US and Russia have their own paths. Each of them has its own strengths and weaknesses. We're just spectators in this competition.